Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Hour. I'm Stefanis Kokis. With me, always, is Cody Tuttle. Mike will be in a little bit later. We have a kind of a big announcement. We got another live stream that we're going to be doing, and it's not in Ohio or West Virginia or Pennsylvania, but Los Angeles, California.
You may have heard of it.
Uh, Organized by some family. I don't know. I guess they're pretty important to the sport.
What something with a G?
Yeah, it's just G something. The Gracies.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
Gracie Nationals.
Yeah, we will be doing the Gracie Nationals.
Yeah.
Uh,
So thanks to all of our fans and the support that you guys have put towards our videos and our live event streams. Rose Gracie reached out to us to help with the 2015 Gracie Nationals stream. Um, Stefanis, you want to talk a little bit more about what all is going on since you're going to be like the engineering head of the Gracie Nationals stream?
so details so far that I know, Eddie Bravo is supposed to be doing commentary, and I will be working with the Gracie Nationals organization and Sharedog to put the stream up. So we're gonna have probably a couple of new tricks that we can do that we've been talking about here. They want to actually go for it, so we're gonna go for a few different things, a few different angles, and I have a few new tricks that I've learned. So hopefully the quality of our streams can be off the charts, especially compared to before.
So is one of those angles from the sky?
Might be.
Are we talking drone cam?
We might have that camera finally.
Finally, drone cam. I've been waiting for like a year to work a drone cam into the BJJ hour.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun. But yeah, that's a possibility, as well as we're gonna be covering the super fights on Sunday. They will be Sunday morning, probably around 3 or 4 o'clock our time here, and I'm gonna try to. We're still working out details, but I will try to get the gi matches on Saturday for the black and brown belt divisions.
We don't have a lot of information on who's doing the super fights. We know that Javi Vasquez is competing against Gary Tonin in a submission only match. And if you watched the Gracie Nationals last year, Javi Vasquez made pretty short work of I can't remember his name, but I think he was another 10th planet black belt. He made it look pretty easy. Javi Vasquez is no slouch. He's fought in the UFC. I was actually watching some old Javi Vasquez grappling videos today at work, and I watched him triangle Jeff Glover at the 2005 ADCC North American Trials. Mike, you ever see that video?
Yes, I did.
It was it was pretty
Hi,
cool.
Mike.
It was a pretty competitive match. Jeff Glover was like 20 years old, or like 18 or something stupidly young, way too young to be that good at jiu-jitsu. But Javi beat him, so I mean he's been a world class grappler for like more than 10 years.
Long.
Yeah, yeah, longer than I've been able to drive a car or been aware of the sport of jiu-jitsu.
It's gonna be a good match. Him and Tona are gonna be a real good matchup.
Yeah, and with Eddie Bravo commentating, Victor Davila is the other commentator. Sherdog's helping out with the stream. They're one of the two biggest sites in combat sports with along with the underground. And I think I saw somewhere that they're trying to get a super fight for Denny Prokopos, another Eddie Bravo black belt,
and another Greek.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Greeks.
So, Mike, what do you know about this Youngstown tournament coming up?
It is the good fight. It is at Stambaugh Stadium Saturday. Actually, Rob Sullivan from Next Level is doing. A couple other guys doing. I'm actually gonna go with Rob and cut weight tomorrow, just because I'm gonna.
Have you ever cut weight before?
I actually have back in the day when I used to take jiu-jitsu serious. I used to cut weight. Now I don't even have. I'm so fat. I don't think I have any effect on me. It'd be like just Crisco like dripping off my.
Just do kettlebells.
You're too far from the lower weight classes.
I don't know. I'm pretty fat.
Don't come to my weight class, even though I know you'll beat me every time.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with him tomorrow and cut some weight, and then it's tomorrow. It's if you're brown or black, you don't pay. It's free. It's free entry.
That's
So
nice.
that's free entry, and I'm trying to think. I know Tommy Costa's doing it, and I'm not sure who else did. But it'd be nice to see Tommy Costa back in action. He's an excellent brown belt from Pittsburgh.
Alexander Wallace is doing it.
Alexander Wallace doing it. So there's some good guys doing it. So it'll be. I heard. I know a lot of guys from Strong Style up in Cleveland are coming down. So there'll be a lot of schools. And, actually, Youngstown's a good area to have it because it's an hour between Pittsburgh, hour between Cleveland, hour from West Virginia.
No, it's like 2 hours from West Virginia.
Is it 2 hours?
Depending on what part of West Virginia, it's definitely 2 hours.
For me, it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But basically, between upstate New York,
It's right off of 80. It's literally like you take 80 and you can get off in 76 goes through too.
Youngstown's a good spot for jiu-jitsu, and it's also a good place to get shot.
Yes, that's true. And to get diarrhea in a Chipotle bathroom. So.
Yes. Forgot about that. I feel like you read the website for the Good Fight before you said that because on their website it said attention Steel City Classic competitors because they came to the Pittsburgh area in like August of last year. That was like their first time like this far this side of Philadelphia. But it said that we've decided to use Youngstown as a more centralized competition location. It's 1 hour from Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Canton. And I was like, oh, okay. So they said the same thing you did.
Yeah. Well, it's right there. It's literally in between. It's
all the major highways go through Youngstown.
The budding jiu-jitsu place of America.
So what happened?
What? To Youngstown?
Yeah.
I think at one point Youngstown had the highest.
Surf.
Youngstown had the highest crime rate in all of America per capita at one point. I think it's still pretty close.
It's in like the top 20 now, but it used to be number one.
Jiu-jitsu, so it's a weird mix. So,
you can apply your self-defense techniques in Youngstown, potentially.
I want to do less sport jiu-jitsu here on the street because as you're bowling, you probably get shot.
Yeah, probably. Just shoot you in the face.
I would still bowling regardless because that's how I want to go out.
Unless if it was the 1950s, though, they would just strap a bomb to your car, and yeah, that would happen. So that's this weekend?
Yeah.
That is the Saturday.
Saturday, the Youngstown. I didn't even know about this competition. Like someone posted it and it came out of nowhere.
You should do it. Come up.
I'm gonna be in Detroit. I'm going to the Detroit Auto Show this weekend.
Yeah, there's another place you can.
Yeah, that's another.
I know, right? Yeah. So the only place worse than Youngstown that I could possibly be is Detroit. I got a friend that lives up in Michigan. He works in the auto industry. He's he's like he's an engineer for I don't know. He does like some engine testing, like independent engine testing, and he always, whenever he comes home, he's usually driving some sort of car that hasn't been released yet to the public with a manufacturer plate and like some taped off details so that you can't see it.
Does he have the new NSX or the new GT40?
No, but he like 2 years ago he came home with a Jeep that hadn't been debuted yet. It was supposed to be debuted at the Detroit Auto Show, and he drove one of the test models like 6 hours from Detroit area to West Virginia.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they let him. So I don't know what he does, but he's taken us, and his company has like a vendor booth and stuff like that. So that should be fun. Check that out. So paying more attention to cars and stuff lately. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. So we missed last week, and the weekend before that was Polaris.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one that watched it was Mike.
And I tried to update the matches as they were going on.
You did a good job.
Yeah, a lot of people were messaging me saying, "Hey, I'm listening to your podcast's Facebook updates for Polaris."
So that is something that you guys should do because I have horrible spelling. 2, I'm horrible at typing. It's not really my thing. But I tried as much as I it seemed like people liked it though. It seemed like people.
I see people correcting your typos all the time. Like
yeah, my typos are horrible.
I always see people correcting your typos, and it's like sometimes like they'll pick out like your and you are like that's.
I always screw up.
I'm like, okay, so that's how I know that we're on to something here. Is when people are gonna spend their time on the internet messing with Mike's grammar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, speaking of that, we're gonna start adding more to our website. Become a more full featured group. We're gonna add blog posts and everything else. So I will be copy editing Mike's work. you'll be able to find his rants start going up on the BJJhour.com.
Censor my rants because I get very emotional when I rant on Facebook. I
Yeah.
get very. So I get a little too emotional. I know I do. I get very, but I'm just very. I just love jiu-jitsu a lot, and I get very excited sometimes, and I don't understand that. I don't understand people that don't train. I can't comprehend them. I can't understand them. I feel like everyone should do jiu-jitsu, or something's wrong with you. Sorry, it's weird.
And on our website right now, we have some information about another upcoming tournament in the area. It's one that is actually how we got our start with the podcast and our live stream. It's the Slippery Rock University's Rock Solid Grappling Challenge. We'll be there on February 21st. So will a handful of high-level grapplers. Gary Tonen's going to be competing there. So if you're not there, you can watch it, because Gary Tonen has never had a non-exciting jiu-jitsu match in his life. And if you want to compete, follow the link, register. You can register online. It's cheap, gi and no gi. If you think that you can beat Gary Tonen and you want to win $500, talk to Mike Demko. There's an 8-man division.
Pablo Castro's also in it.
That's right. Pablo Castro, Alex Wallace, possibly another ADCC competitor, and Gary Tonen. That's who I know so far. Yeah. Oh, we got away from Polaris. Back to Polaris.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's discuss Polaris for real quick, and then we'll go back to Slippery Rock because
we got off
some
topic.
subjects. We have ADD podcast.
Yeah. Anyways, Mike.
Yeah. So Polaris was awesome. Dean Lister got tapped out for the second time in a year, not in a year's frame, but in a 12-month period. He got caught with a triangle from Keenan Cornelius, and
If anybody could find his neck, it's Keenan.
I don't like how people were bashing Lister afterwards, saying that it's time to hang it up. I even left a little rant on Facebook. It's he lost to arguably Keenan could go down as one of the greatest grapplers of all time. So that is not the person to say you're losing it to. That is the best. That's like getting dunked on from LeBron. By the way, I know nothing about basketball. I just know that LeBron's famous. But it's that kind of thing is what I'm saying. It's that when you lose to Keenan, and he didn't lose right away to Keenan. It wasn't like he just slapped it on him. You know, they went a while into the match. It's Keenan Cornelius, you know. And this was a rematch from ADCC in China where they went the distance. And I knew that Lister wasn't going to heel hook Keenan because Keenan's either there's no bone in his heel or something, because people try. I've seen he's like Tonen. There's nothing in there. It's just like they grab the heel and it's just like rubber right here and nothing. He just won't tap. So, but
Yeah.
If you remember our episode with Gary, he did say that he popped Keenan's knee with the heel hook at the 5 tournament. So, you know, he I mean, even if you get him in the heel hook, there's a chance that he might just not tap.
You saw against video Meta Morris, he didn't tap.
Right, yeah.
So he doesn't.
He's got great defense, and he's going to be stubborn because he takes this. You know, he's one of the best in the world, and this is his job. So he's, you know, that's what it takes.
Yeah, he's got great defense and great balls.
Yeah, he's gonna let it give just a little bit more than you and I would.
Yeah, I'm not letting anyone take my heel that.
Mike takes a lot of heels, and guys don't tap for some reason.
Yeah, not anymore. Those back that day.
That was just a year ago.
Just hurts just getting in. Putting someone's heel on it hurts. It just. But who else? There was Tonen competed. He competed against what it was. Polaris was in
England.
Wasn't it? So there was a lot of Euro jiu-jitsu guys that I didn't hear of, and they were really pushing European jiu-jitsu. And they were pushing it so hard it was almost like a chip on the shoulder kind of push. They were constantly saying, you know, this guy's this and that, and you know, maybe in America we're just too like into like American jiu-jitsu,
our own people.
We forget about Europe jiu-jitsu and over there. But there was, I guess these guys were pretty good. And the guy that went against Gary Tonen, I forgot his name. He was an MMA fighter.
It was Marcin Held.
He attacked Gary's legs first, which kind of threw Gary off. And they were going for legs for a while, and Gary ended up getting him in a heel hook. But he went after legs. He wasn't even trying. They weren't even trying to hide what they were doing. They were going after legs the whole match.
Well, as soon as that was announced, that was like the first comment was, you know, leg lock battle or something.
Yeah, I think everybody knew that Marcin Held was going to go after Gary's feet, and Gary was going to go right back at it because I think he's got a notorious leg lock game as well. But it just shows how good Gary is. It's he's not just beating guys at the footlock game that he's better at. He's beaten other good footlockers as well.
When I watched the Polaris promo video for Gary, I don't know how many heel hook setups I saw in the span of like 30 seconds, but
There were a lot. They were constantly. They were in 50-50 the whole time. They were constantly going for it. It was going from toe holds to heel hook to knee bars. They were just cycling. They were cycling through.
It was like drilling.
We saw a lot of Eddie Cummings in that video too, and that dude's a beast.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'd never really recognized or heard anything about him or watched any of his videos before the ADCC trials that we did.
Well, Gary spoke about it on our podcast a couple months back. He said about a guy that does heel hooks, and we finally saw it live.
Yeah, but he mentioned it, and I just it was kind of like in one ear out the other, like too much information. I didn't process it. Never saw him, never heard about him, but just dude's a beast. So.
And then AJ Agazarm, he competed against. It was another guy from England. I can't remember his name either.
That was Ollie Geddes.
Yeah.
And Ollie's he was training with Hodger Gracie. He got his black belt from Hodger Gracie. He competes a ton. Like if you look at the results for like a lot of the IBJJF Opens and stuff like that, he does
the European.
Not even the European.
Over here. Okay.
All of them, yeah, because he refs. Like they have him ref, and then he competes. He competes for free, does his division, and he refs all day. And he refed one of my matches in Toronto. He was up in Toronto, but he's not like he's not winning first place every time.
You know what? He had a very slick half guard.
Yeah,
his half guard was pretty. His half guard was pretty beast. He was maintaining it pretty good. And there was actually some controversy in that match. People thought that AJ was clowning him. At one point, AJ they bumped fists to restart again. As soon as they bumped fists, AJ shot him for the takedown. There was like his hand was going in, and he hadn't retracted it yet, and he double legged him. And then I guess he took out his mouthpiece at one point, and it looked like he was showboating, and looked like he was doing. And then when he was in half guard, he was pressing his face all the way to the mat. Which is it's a tactic sometimes with passing half guard, but it seemed like he was like it was like right in here. It was like all up in his grill. So it's pretty rough.
I was on some of the forums and stuff, reading about Polaris, and I was surprised. Like Ollie's got a good half guard. He always has. Like even like if you look at any of his stuff, like blue belt, purple belt, because I think he medaled at Pans or maybe Worlds or something like that. At either like blue or purple. But half guard has always been his game. But like some people were talking, like they picked Ollie to win over AJ, and I thought that was kind of crazy because not only is AJ like impossible to submit, like the only time that I can think of AJ getting submitted was like like the brown belt Kumite and shit like that, and then when Vitor Oliverio like judo tossed him on his head and then armbarred him real quick at like one of the opens. So dude's super hard to tap. And he's so much like more physical and athletic than Ollie Geddes that I saw this as a huge mismatch, and I'm not surprised that.
No, he was on it. Now the thing with AJ, he gets a lot of flack because him and Keenan had some beef going on.
Yeah.
When he started the pancake guard, he made a video of him eating pancakes, and it was something against Keenan as he was eating the pancakes, like he started eating the pancakes. And then Keenan made a video of him. It's just clips of him getting subbed.
Yeah.
And so it started from there. And like a lot of people that are like kind of new to jiu-jitsu or haven't been in it, they take it very serious, and they actually think that they actually have real beef, but they're just playing around. I'm sure there is a little beef there, but it's not to the point where people are like, man, that guy's a douchebag. I don't think those guys hate each other, but it's good for the sport because they can get a super fight out of it. They can make some money. They can.
It's good publicity.
That's it. Anything that makes jiu-jitsu people money, I love. So that's why I love Polaris. The only thing I didn't like about Polaris was the commercials. There were just too many commercials. It's not commercials.
There was a lot of downtime.
There was a lot of downtime, and I kept writing about the downtime.
I heard they zoomed in on like some like weird stuff during the matches, like really close close action shots like during the action? Did you have any?
I don't.
You don't
I was
remember that?
I was busy typing about. I was getting annoyed with the commercials. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised that AJ kind of clowned on Ollie because he's just AJ wrestled at Ohio State. He's a much better athlete than Ollie, so
Mm.
it looked like a mismatch to me from the beginning.
But he held us up. But overall, I give Polaris thumbs up. It's good. It's good for the sport. It's bringing recognition. It's good because now it almost like Metamoris has it's like the European Metamoris, so there's some competition there. I don't like that it's 15 minutes. I think they should throw the extra. You know what? They had so much downtime. They could have made the matches 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They could have. They could have. They could have made. And here's another thing. I still think that sub only. If you're gonna choose sub only, has to be no time, or it's gonna be constantly like Kit Dale's match with the distance, couple of match. It's just gonna be people afterwards going, man, who won? It's just
Yeah.
people. The way we're built, we want to see a winner. Human beings want to see a winner at the end. It from a financial standpoint, we want to make money. People want to see a winner because when no one subs anyone at the end, it's kind of it's
Anticlimactic.
it's extremely anticlimactic, and it's I don't know, or at least do like the EB rules, like Eddie Bravo, or stuff like that, where they go into those overtimes, stuff like that, or like the ones or your tournament that you did in West Virginia, something like that. Where you got to make it a little more exciting. You have to do something where it's not just okay. You can't just be out 50 minutes. Do something to. I like that your wife is Arabic now. So that's kind of awesome. She tried to dip behind you, but I caught her.
She just popped in over my shoulder, and I'm really surprised because she's usually very, very cautious about not showing up on camera.
She's wearing like a burqa now, right now.
She's in a robe, and that's a towel around her head. So, yeah, if I lift my computer up,
Don't.
Yeah, she's yelling, "Don't."
Yeah.
But sorry, guys. I wish I could.
It's all right.
I'd like to share it all with you, but
I just called your wife Arabic. I forgot.
Hey, what'd you think about the draws? Were they? There were 4 draws and 4 submissions, but were the draws entertaining?
The Kito match was. It's 15 minutes, and especially with the gi on, it's Kito isn't really like. It's not like the biggest finisher.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of knew a couple of those matches were gonna go the distance. What was the other one? I'm trying to remember what the other one.
You had Max Campos and Dara O'Connell. O'Connell was in that brown belt Kumite. He's from like Ireland or something.
That was a good match. What were the other matches?
You had Michelle Nicolini. She hit Angelica Galvao with a toe hold.
Angelica was really Angelica turned it up halfway through the match. She was doing really good, and then she got caught with that toe hold. Yeah. And I think Angelica's game is coming around where she's gonna start getting big time. You can tell she's putting those pieces together. I mean, she's got the greatest coach in the world, her husband. So you can't, it's bound to happen where Angelica's gonna definitely become the next big thing in women's jiu-jitsu for sure. Yeah, she reversed her a couple times, but it's Nicolini, so she breaks people. That's what she does. So.
Fowler and Tellis.
That match I like. Fowler was extremely relaxed. Tellis was.
Tellis wasn't extremely relaxed.
Tellis was, but Fowler was Fowler was just so Fowler was in bad positions a couple times, from side. He was just and he hadn't been training in a while too. He actually Fowler just did this thing where he did walk across.
Yeah, walked across Japan.
Yeah, walked across. So he wasn't really in full time training,
Yeah. Yeah, he had some crazy I don't know, personal issues. I think him and his wife got a divorce and stuff like that. So he walked across Japan for charity, which is really cool. And he did it with Ensign Inoue, who fought in Crockton.
Yeah, I was watching a couple of Ensign Inoue's videos of him doing it. And
he's done it a couple times, I think.
Yeah. I like to see Ensign compete again. I like to see him do a grappling match.
See, there's so many guys out there that grappling isn't as hard on your body. You're not gonna get seriously hurt. You're not gonna get brain damage. There's so many guys for Metamoris to pull from that's why I don't like seeing guys like Schaub and guys like that getting pulled in because
Ensign Inoue was one of the first people back in the day in MMA that put on good jiu-jitsu. He had in his first UFC fight, he had that armbar against that wrestler. I forgot what his name was. It's either UFC. I don't know. It's got to be I can't remember, UFC 7 or 8 or whatever. He had a slick armbar against this wrestler, and then he key locked. He warlocked Randy Couture. So
Yep.
he had back in the day he had some really cool submissions, and then he went on to Pride, but he had a lot of heart. I remember in Pride he took some beatings, and he would refuse to tap. He would took I think Heath Harry put him to sleep with a triangle. He took some beatings, but back in the day when he first started out, he turned a lot of people on to no gi jiu-jitsu and MMA. So
it was Royce Alger.
That's it, Royce Alger, the wrestler, correct?
Yeah.
And then
he fought Mark Kerr, Igor Vovchanchin, Heath Herring, Nogueira, Thomas Sauer. That dude was a beast. Like, he fought everybody. I'm sure Igor damn near killed him.
Yeah, Igor was just
he wasn't gonna give up.
No, Igor was not gonna. Igor killed everyone back in the day. You said night looking at that guy. He was pretty serious. But like that, I like to see like some old school matches like that. But I know that the next Abu Dhabi coming up is having Henzo versus Matt Hughes, so that's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
Yeah, and Sperry and Laborio are grappling too.
Yep.
That'll be cool. Maybe if this whole Gracie Nationals thing goes well, they'll ask us to do the ADCC West Coast trials. I mean, shit, we had a lot of people tune in. Yeah. Keenan was part of our broadcast. So
we had a lot of people jumped in on that thing. Yeah. It's we're the greatest jiu-jitsu podcast in the world. It's just what it is. It's just I'm sorry to break it. It's just we are what we are. So I'm sorry for everyone else that has podcasts. We're just the best.
Put on a good product.
Even if we're slightly biased towards Eastern Ohio, Western Pennsylvania, and parts of West Virginia.
We love Jiu-Jitsu International. We're all over the world. We'll go podcast in Alaska and have bears rolling around.
Hey, how was Pablo Popovich's match?
It was I like this match. I like that. I think a lot of people, including me, I didn't think Pablo would I know he likes competing for points. It was his first time only, and he was doing good. He was dominating, and when he got on the back, he was a silverback gorilla. He was not off. What was the name of the gentleman he went against?
Eduardo Rios.
Yeah, he would not get off his back. He was just, he was threatening the whole time, trying to dig in that choke. When he had his back, it was game over. And he actually stated at the end of it that he wants to do more sub only.
So. I'd really like to see him and Lister. I know they had to switch everything around right at the end, but him and Lister in the future would be cool. I'd like to see that. Yeah. That actually reminds me of an interesting story from earlier this week. Really, I was at the gym lifting, and this I don't know. My dad was there too with me, and he knew this guy that was there. He talked about him before, but I'd never met him, and he introduced us. The guy's from the Dominican Republic, and he's been in the United States for like 8 years or something like that. But 10 years ago, he was working as a personal trainer in a Vale Tudo gym in the Dominican Republic. And the first question I asked him was, are there are a lot of Vale Tudo gyms in the Dominican Republic? And he was like, I don't know. And then he started talking about this guy that was doing really well, and I was like, is it Abraham Marte? And he was like, yeah, Abraham. So, that was supposed to be Keenan's opponent for Polaris, but I think
something happened. He wasn't able to compete.
His visa, like the paperwork, didn't come back, and he wasn't able to get into the country.
He's a beast. He's an older guy like me, but he is a beast.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. Like, yeah, he was like, oh yeah, Abraham. Yeah, he was just kind of like an out of shape guy that decided to start doing jiu-jitsu, and now,
now it's ripped.
Yeah, and I think he got third at Worlds 2 years ago or something like that, maybe 3. But yeah, it was just the most random conversation. It turned into, this guy knew Abraham Marte.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like when conversations go like that.
Yeah,
conversations turn into jiu-jitsu.
I tried to get him to come to the gym. He said that he was interested in it, but he's I don't know. He's not sure if it's something he wants to get into or not. But hopefully he does.
Hopefully he does. That's awesome. That's awesome. Stephanie, you been doing any rolling, any training anywhere?
No, I'm trying to get my sleep schedule to work so I can start going to Mat Factory in the mornings.
Nice.
Morning training school.
Yeah, it's just hard because I don't get out. They drill from 9:30 to 11 Monday through Wednesday, and I get out of work at 9:30. So
that is a great school to go to. That is, I love the Mat Factory. One of my favorite schools in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Chris Dempsey, one of their fighters, is going to be in the UFC again in April.
Is he? That's awesome.
That's awesome. Another local guy making it big.
Yep.
That's awesome. And I know Dom is fighting from. I think he's fighting tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow?
Or Saturday?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. No, it is. It is Friday. It's tomorrow.
Okay, it is tomorrow.
It's in Morgantown.
Good luck
I
with that.
I was supposed to either ref or judge that, but because of the auto show, I opted out. So that's happening in Morgantown. I jumped the gun earlier and I started talking about Slippery Rock before we finished Polaris. So if we wanna hop back to our favorite,
Yes, that's where our roots started. What is today our anniversary?
Yeah, you could say that. Today's our
is it really?
yeah 1 year.
1 year since we've been podcasting.
Man, a year ago I was up in one of my front rooms like freezing my ass off.
Yeah, we had audio problems and everything.
So much hair a year ago.
Now I'm nice and warm. I have a gas furnace and not electric baseboard heaters, and
You're married and
I'm married. Yeah. So I have a stepdog, and well, I guess it's
I graduated.
yeah.
I got fatter. But yeah, that was our. How many live streams have we done? How many events have we done?
We did Slippery Rock. We did AGC. We did AGC Pittsburgh. I did the Kumite Classic. We did ADCC.
We did Morgantown.
We did Morgantown. I think that's
6.
Yeah, 6.
Oh, we did Edinburgh.
Edinburgh 7.
Yeah.
Is there ADCC in there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, we did 7 in a year. That's pretty big.
Yep.
And we already have a full slate for this year. We have the Gracie Nationals. We have Slippery Rock, and I'm sure we'll have a bunch more coming up.
And at Slippery Rock, we're going to have some T-shirts. We're finally going to have some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Hour T-shirts. All of this that we've done in the past year, we've not made a single dime on. We don't even make AdSense money. Our YouTube videos make us no money. We're doing this out of our own pocket for local jiu-jitsu. So if you like the show and you want to put money in Stefanis's pocket to buy more camera equipment, because that's probably what's gonna be used
just better equipment.
we're not gonna get rich. If you want to support the show, there'll be some cool T-shirts with our logo. Stop by our booth, and if you buy a T-shirt, we'll let you get on the air for a minute or so.
Or you can
we will thank you
or choke me
publicly.
We'll give you a shout out on the air.
And thank you to my friend Donald. He helps us with cameras occasionally, but he had to move back home. He bought some new equipment for us, so
nice.
Hopefully it'll come in handy very soon.
Can you believe this is going to be the 4th Slippery Rock tournament, and we were there at the first one. Like
we were the initial super fight.
Yeah.
We started the party off.
Yeah.
We started the party off. That was pretty awesome. That was
now look at that division. You've got
Gary Tonen's in it. And
now the division has grown way past my skill level.
I want no part of that anymore.
You have Gary Tonen and you have Pablo Castro. Like, what else?
I want no part of either of those human beings. They're too tough.
And I guess he won't get too mad if we announce it, but we're trying to get Josh Hayden up from Florida. He won the ADCC trials in 2013. He went to the big show in China, and he was the runner-up actually in Charleston. He lost to his teammate Matt Arroyo, but that dude's a beast. I thought he broke my foot when we rolled at the ADCC trials. So if that he's a legit threat to winning because
and he has awesome leg lock setups. They're not
and defense. If you look up Josh Hayden versus Rafael Lovato Jr., they grappled in the finals of the 5 grappling tournament in Texas, and Lovato did not submit Josh Hayden. And
actually, Lovato only beat him by 2 points, something like that.
It wasn't much, and you know what? Hayden couldn't footlock him because 5 grappling has the the reaping rule. So one of his best weapons, thumbs down.
I like 5 grappling, but I don't like the.
No reaping.
No gi reap away. Gi I could see, but
plow reaping. So, yeah, his best weapon wasn't available, and he still did awesome. He's going to be on the show sometime soon. We've talked to him a lot. He's gonna he's gonna hop on and talk to us probably about, training in Florida, training in Kentucky, breaking knees, China, ADCC, stuff like that.
Shit, snapping shit.
Yeah, Hayden's world.
All right.
So he might be there too. So
we pulled a lot of between Dustin and now Demko. Pull a lot of talent over this way, of this part of the country. For between New York and LA and Florida, we got Gary Tonin coming back this way twice. Got Pablo Castro up in Cleveland. He's really good. We had the ADCC in West Virginia. Who would have thought that would have happened?
not me.
So it seems like we have really good people coming around, and we have good people coming up. So hopefully, some of the guys out there can step it up and start competing at that level.
So what you're trying to say is all those good guys are coming here because we stream the events on the internet, right?
I like where you're going.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good, young man.
Yeah. There's no conspiracy. We start streaming events, Gary Tonin shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happens. It's just
or someone becomes a world champion.
Yes, we're amazing. So,
although we have our characters, we do have our people we love.
Yes, we do. We have our Dan Swifts. We have our Darren Branch. Darren Branch is talking about. He posted he wants to start a podcast, which would be cool. It would be. I would love to listen to Darren Ran Away. So that'd be awesome.
I'd listen to Darren talk more.
Darren's episode got some pretty good reviews. It's that was way different than any of our normal shows. We got into
it got a little political.
Events. Yeah. And who better to really talk about it than him? He's from Cleveland. That kid got shot in Cleveland. He's got a good perspective on it, and a lot of people really like that. So it was a pretty cool show. It was one of my favorites of our recent shows.
It was deep. It wasn't anything stupid shit. It was nice. So, like I'm not too big into politics, so I'm not really.
I'm not looking forward to getting judo chopped by Darren Branch though.
I wouldn't want that either.
He's gonna catch me one good.
We gotta get some politics in there. We gotta start mixing up. We'll start talking about different stuff. Maybe next time we'll have a cooking show.
Yeah, we could do.
A gi on. I'll make fresh McRibs.
All right. Yeah, we do that. Next holiday, Greek Easter. I'll come up. I'll bring the equipment. All right. Well, I think that's everything we got for this week.
All right, wrap. Shout out to Tom Cannell that's watching.
What's up, Tom? Get better.
Get better, Tom.
Stop doing CrossFit. Come back to Jiu-Jitsu.
More CrossFit. Or I gotta make another meme.
And so we'll see you guys next week. Grayson Nationals in 2 weeks.
BJJ Hour, Sure Dog, join forces.
Yep. And we'll have more details as we get them too. So everybody have a good night, have a good week, and we'll see you next week.